So it's more information coming out about David murdering his young 13, 14-year-old girlfriend.
Call the popo, huh?
Weirdo.
Okay. So now the medical examiner says she was killed by 2 penetrating wounds, meaning she got stabbed. That's the way she passed away was not from no drug overdose. No, she got stabbed. She got hurt. Somebody harmed her and killed her. And apparently, David cut her fingers off and kept her fingers.
Weirdo.
Medical examiner has actually now released the results of the Celeste autopsy
Shout out
officially,
Ross, man.
and apparently she was killed by 2 penetrating wounds. So we'd seen previous articles and reporting that essentially she'd been killed by a sharp instrument, as it says over here. DA says that David murdered Celeste with a sharp instrument. We were wondering whether this was a stabbing, whether this was the penknife or the flick knife, one of these bad boys that he apparently was showing off on Twitch and other places in the lead up to the murder. But now it's official. They're saying she was killed by 2 penetrating wounds, and we've actually got some information. So it says the medical examiner says there's 2 penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges that may represent sharp force injuries. The wound, 3/4 of an inch length and 1.5 inches deep on the upper abdomen, penetrates the liver, and the wound on the left chest, 9/16 of an inch in length and 2 inches deep, penetrates one of the left intercostal spaces with disruption of the adjacent ribs and cortical surfaces. So this is the official autopsy results. It says decedent Rivas Hernandez Celeste Abigar. And as I just explained to you, these are the wounds. So these are
that's what she was
stabbed with a blunt instrument. It looks like a knife. This looks like a knife to me.
Yeah. What else would it be though?
Could easily be one of these sort of knives that David was seen with. Honestly, makes perfect sense to me.
So now my question would be, okay, if now that we know he killed this little girl, which I mean, me personally, I've been new. This ain't no new news to me. I figured that out first 5 minutes after I heard about what happened. That's just me, because I got a professional nigga ear that's fully upgraded and leveled up. Do your homework. So it sounds like my only question is 2 things happened. Number 1, he was planning on the murder. He wanted to kill her for whatever reason because he a sick weirdo and he really thought he was in the anime, which I think was very likely. Or number 2, he always wanted to know what it felt like. He seemed like one of them weirdos who like always wanted to know what it felt like to kill somebody. You feel me? He seemed like one of those dorky, loser, weirdo, lame, everything about him. The tattoos, the weird, all that weird shit about him, the painted nails, all that shit was weird, bro. You feel me? So something about him like that. Or they got into an argument and he just killed her and did all the other shit. But I don't think so. I think he killed her. He planned on killing her and he wanted to kill her or kill somebody for a very long time. And, he was around her all the time and he just did it. And he wanted to see what it was like to cut up her body. He was in love with gore. He said it turned him on. Like,
basically, this is just breaking that down. Explaining that there was injuries, multiple defects over here on the lower right, sort of the upper right back. There's multiple linear abrasions on the hands.
So she was fighting back.
There was slices to the hands.
She was trying to
the fingers. They pointed out that's where the shush tattoo was on her finger.
Damn.
The skull, it says partially skeletonized.
What that mean?
Say globe not present. Can't quite see what that says, but it says something with the eye. I think it says
I can't really see what it says for real.
Don't see what that says. Something present. Says there's a defect here.
Defect somewhere.
6 inch at the top of the shoulder. So yeah, as you can see, it
what was on her
to be
ankle?
some kind of abrasion. I believe this is actually where the severs were made, these lines.
Yeah.
So it appears that the arms and legs were cut here.
A sick motherfucker.
At these points. So one leg cut a little bit shorter than the other.
Do you know how sick you gotta be to sit there to kill a human being and cut up the legs? Like, think about how many muscles and tissue and how much blood, the bones. Think about what you have to go through to cut up a human being's leg after you killed this girl. And you sitting here with her unalived body in front of your face and you going back and forth, blood splattering everywhere, all type of shit going on. And you going back and forth until her leg is all the way off and then doing it again and then doing it to her arms.
Something they might jump on. The medical examiner also says her left ring and pinky fingers were amputated, but the body diagram shows her right pointer finger with the shush tattoo was intact. This will also be
So
an
he
interesting
kept her
issue at
fingers.
trial because
Come on,
of meth or
I've been
whatever you
around
call it.
for a long
It's crazy.
time.
It says the body was badly
I'm just
decomposed. The
saying.
head was partially skeletonized with an absent left eye. That's really dark.
insane.
And I wonder
Where'd
whether
her
that was
eye go?
literally cut that, bruh. I don't
Bro,
even imagine
what the fuck?
Weirdo.
what was going on with that. The remains were found in a black body bag and a black trash bag.
So this is going to be the centerpiece of the case, because you know what the DA is saying is we have evidence she threatened David that she would expose their relationship, probably in a text. That's the way they make it seem, and that she goes to David's house on April 23rd, 2025, never to be seen again.
Right.
So now the question: what happened? So the prosecutor is going to say he stabbed her to death, and here are these 2 wounds, and then you're going to have the defense coming out and saying, look, number one, you didn't say conclusively, you're saying may, and this is a reasonable doubt case. Number two, if it was so clear to you, why 4 months in were you still saying undetermined? So this is going to be a huge part of this case.
And also, I would think, maybe they'll say this, that it would get harder to find those wounds the more time passes. Like they found her body in September, and I'm sure it's refrigerated, but the state of decomposition, I would think it gets harder by March. Now suddenly, what changed?
They're going to freeze it once they find the body. They can freeze it in the state.
But why
I don't
couldn't
think that was what they found months later. Those penetrative wounds must have been known to the coroner right from the
But then why did they say we may never be able to determine whether
the body is in very bad state. The insects and so forth are described in there, liquefaction of organs and things of that nature. But the body that you can see in their diagram shows these 2 penetrating wounds, and those are inconsistent with dismemberment.
Well, there'll be pictures. There will be photographs.
There's going to be photographs of everything.
There will be photographs of all of this in the trial.
David took Celeste's David finger as a trophy. Here he shows a cut finger on tour. What the
Trigger
hell?
warning for you. This post is going around on Reddit, and they're saying that David actually took Celeste's finger with the David tattoo on it on tour as a trophy. And here he shows a cut finger on tour, and it links to a TikTok.
What the?
I haven't watched this TikTok yet. I'm actually scared to even watch this, but let's see.
Tour vlog.
Fucking hell. Is it? Please tell me this isn't what I think it is.
Wrapping up the one and only original Sukuna's finger from Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, we about to drink some tea, do some vocal warm-ups.
So he has a finger. He talking about it's an original finger from some shit, and he's wrapping the finger up right before her body got found. And it just so happens that a few of her fingers end up missing after they found her body. Too many coincidences, gang. This nigga's a weirdo.
It can't be. It can't be.
I think it can be.
I'm speechless. Could this really be it? So this was on August 2025, the 19th of August.
Right.
I
Her
just
body
can't
got
believe what I'm
found in
seeing.
September.
Wrapping up the
She's
one and only
probably
original
already dead.
Sukuna's finger from Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, we about to drink some tea, do some vocal warm-ups. Some vocal warm-ups. Warm-ups.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we about to drink
Part.
some tea, do some vocal warm-ups.
Why is he wrapping a finger? What else makes sense?
Bruv. Says, yes, it's a prop. He showed clues all this time. It's not fan fiction, y'all. The whole premise of this finger is a dead person's finger. That character ate to get powers or something. Says, when I posted this a few months back, I was told it was nothing. They're saying this is the finger he took. What is he doing with a cut finger prop? So I searched with Google Lens, and it seems like the one he's holding is a prop of Sukuna's finger from the anime series Jujutsu Kaisen, but if the autopsy is showing that 2 fingers are absent, it means he likely cut them off, especially because one of them had the David tattoo. So he might have gone around with that object to remind himself of that. What the actual fuck, this man...
Bro, this nigga is a sick ass. He one of them sick weirdos. But you can kind of look at him and tell. Like, none of this is... When I see this type of nigga, bro, the bracelets and the bonnet and the nail polish, and he looks like a fucking weirdo. He looked like one of them weird ass. This is like the black version of Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, y'all seen that shit? Like, Jeffrey Dahmer used to kill animals and cut them up and all that weird. Like, he just
one
a
of them had
fucking
the David
weirdo.
tattoo. So he might have gone around with that object to remind himself of that. What the actual fuck, this man, sick monster, took her finger as a trophy. Let me look this up. Because if this is a thing that you can buy a Sukuna's finger prop So it looks like this is a thing.
Okay.
Right? You can buy a Sukuna's finger prop. It is a thing.
But it's still weird the fact that the person who he's supposed to have killed got 2 fingers cut off. It just shows you like it's something wrong with the nigga. Like he thought he like I don't these niggas be weird as hell.
They sell them.